Hi, all. Welcome to this episode of Voices in Transformation. Moritz, I'm going to start with you. I'm going to ask you a question about your perspective on AI. So, from where you're sitting, why do you think AI is becoming such a critical partner in supply chain planning today?
Very good question. I think AI is very crucial in today's supply chains, in particular when it comes to planning. We're seeking complexity, scalability, volatility, what people are asking for. In general, when we're looking back, so the traditional methods which we have been talking about, lasting to vast amount of data, market changes, so things which are not easy to handle no more, need digital support for real-time decision making, for faster analysis, accurate analysis, and of course, to identify dedicated patterns. When it comes to patterns, for instance, I think that's a very good example, which I usually would outline, is the topic of forecast accuracy. Usually, firms and environments are looking to increase the forecast accuracy. This can be done by incorporating social trends, geopolitical events which are happening as of now, which need to be incorporated. But also when we're looking into FMCG, for instance, the weather is a very big impact factor, which should be considered. One more point I would like to outline here from my perspective is particularly the repetitive tasks. I think everybody knows that we want to streamline those, we want to automate more, we want to free up time for the people, for the workforce, that they can focus rather on strategic decision making, less on like the repetition of what we need to do.
That makes sense to me. And Laura, how do you define the role of AI in the modern supply chain planning, and really how autonomous can planning be?
Well, I would say AI has always had a role in supply chain planning. So I think nowadays there is a lot of hype around AI, but AI has been there for a long time. As Moritz said, one example is forecasting, right? It's been there for a lot of years and it's been a crucial tool that many customers already use since years. So I think what's new now to the picture is since a couple of years is now the generative AI and more recently the whole agentic um, evol- revolution, let me say, which means now we can see as the goal the autonomous planning, as you mentioned, much more than before. I do believe that we are never going to reach a completely autonomous supply chain. We are still going to aim for a kind of a semi-autonomous supply chain where we still have a human in the loop, someone who still checks, double checks what the AI is doing, takes the final decision. But agents and AI overall are going to be much more present in all the steps of supply chain planning in the future.
And Moritz, okay, let's take an existing supply chain process. What kind of steps do you need to take, or what considerations do you need to have when you integrate AI-driven planning into an already existing supply chain process?
Yeah. Usually I put up my hand because we are usually considering 5 essential steps on that one. First, business objectives. I think first we need to understand what we're looking for. Are we looking for demand? Are we looking for, so to say, supply? Are we looking for inventory optimization? What is the target we are looking for? Second, I think that's very, very crucial that data quality, availability, and accessibility is the foundational aspect that we can promote such use cases. Without data, we cannot really process anything. We cannot automate. We cannot proceed into the future. Third, I think also the teaming, who is involved later on in those discussions, is quite important. We are seeking collaboration across teams. So it's not only a demand AI driven use cases or a supply driven use case. In general, we are looking for end to end cross collaboration across teams so that the key of resolving topics is made happen. Fourth part, also looking to Laura, we are working heavily with SAP, of course, on that sense. We're looking for right technology, the right partners we as PwC can also work with, meaning we want to scale, we want to be flexible, we want to seamlessly integrate into existing infrastructures, also calling S/4HANA, where most of the data is coming from. Fifth, and I think this is from a partner perspective quite essential, is that you go on a step-by-step basis. You need to have like MVPs, you need to have pilots, you need the ability also to fail because you will try out, you will test, you will not have the proper solution, which is 100% scale right from the beginning. And that's so to say also the key that what we are driving for, we want to maximize the value of that AI-driven planning because it's got to be agile, data-driven, and resilient for our supply chain operations.
And Laura, what do you think are the most impactful AI capabilities you see transforming supply chain planning right now? And do you think that these things would help planners respond to disruptions?
So for sure, I think AI is going to help with disruptions. I feel like we are focusing on different areas right now. So with generative AI, we have the whole area of scenario planning. So agents helping with that. And another big topic is the area of explainability. So, kind of
Mhm.
putting AI on top of new AI, let me say, the generative AI on top of the existing AI, like the mathematical optimization or the machine learning, to help explain what the system has been doing to drive adoption. And regarding disruptions, I do think that these scenario planning agents that we are working on right now are going to be instrumental in the future because the whole idea is we are going to help planners react fast to disruptions in that the agent kind of does a pre-work for them. So sees this disruption already, works through possibilities, what could be done to react to the disruptions, and comes back to the planner with
Yeah.
options and comparison based on KPIs, where the planner then at the end only and needs to take the decision and is not burdened with the overall, step-by-step scenario planning that they needed to do before.
Well, following on from what you just said there, and I'll go to you, Moritz, but this question also is to you, Laura, which is how do you actually see human planners and AI co-piloting decisions evolving over the next 3 to 5 years? Moritz?
Yeah. I think over the next 3 to 5 years, it's rather going to be a co-pilot between the humans and the machine. I think we need to process data in a very heavy way. Data is increasing heavily. We need to analyze those patterns. We need to provide planners, as Laura also said, actionable insights and recommendations in real time to make proper decision making. I think what the people are currently focusing on is we are analyzing data, but going forward, we want them to make strategic decision makings, creative problem solving, and of course, utilizing those data to communicate effectively with the stakeholders. And I think it's also important stating we don't want to replace planners with AI. It will be enabling their capabilities. It will be enabling their decision making processes to make more accurate and proactive decisions across it. So it's rather about let's explain the data, let's provide transparency, understand what AI also does. I think also SAP with Joule gives also good insights into that one, giving explainability to the planners that they can actually work with it. So let's summarize it into a one word or 2 words: intelligent partnership. It will be a cross collaboration going forward where machine will help the planners, human feedback will be interacted, enabling also the integration of new market conditions going forward to make this a real success for our firms.
Thanks. What about you, Laura?
Yeah, I totally agree with Moritz, right? I also see this working as a partnership. And I think it starts right now, early on, with AI literacy. So, what I've seen a lot is there is a lot of interest in AI, but often the planners, the end users, do not know what AI can do, what it cannot do, how they are supposed to use it. And I think here the partnership of also from SAP with partners like PVC is instrumental, right, to make sure that we enable the customers to use AI the proper way. And once they learn to use it, they start trusting the AI. That's where the partnership can really shine.
On that note, thank you very much for joining us on Voices in Transformation.